the more I paint, the more I feel like it's like an absolute transferal of energy, and if you can't deny that. Like if you feel a particular way while you're painting, it's going to absolutely transfer in the paint, and a viewer may not know what they're looking at, but they'll feel it.
Something I haven't sort of mentioned, and it's so elemental in your work, is drawing and the line in painting. We talked about it at the Art Gallery of New South Wales, but I really want to raise it again. We're looking in this space at these paintings. They look totally different in real life than what they look like online, because you've layered and layered and layered the oil paint.
Well, the line is sort of etched into every layer of the painting, and drawing is like the inception point of like a lot of the work. I feel like the energy of that is important to retain, like that initial sort of like spark of, you know, the creation of the image. And I don't know, like I feel like all human beings sort of like have this responsibility, or like to forge out their own existence. And I feel like the line mimics that, in that, you know, like it has to carve its own existence out. Like, so I think there's something in that carving that's important to maintain.
I get the feeling you don't revise, you don't go over it and think, you know, I'm going to fix that up, or it's what it is what it is. Is that how you approach drawing? Yeah,
I try to stay as true to that initial response. I think it comes from a place sort of like below consciousness, and then the trying to fix it up is the, you know, like your conscious or rational mind trying to correct it to an idea that is a more learned or formal sort of, you know, the head should be here or the hand doesn't match up. Whereas, yeah, I try to stay just to the initial response, because I think there's something in that initial response that I may not understand, but just to keep to that is important.
I did read that when you were painting For Whom the Bell Tolls, you found that difficult, and that you basically cried through that whole painting.
Cried through every painting, no.
So do you think that emotion, do you feel that affected the way you painted that?
Well, I think it melded with the subject matter. So it didn't, but that was like, it was a pretty difficult time, and it was very tedious. Like it took over 2 months to paint, and that's like 12 hours a day. And just by the scale of it, like it was just this repetition of painting. Plus I had like, like other stuff going on. So like I was just like sort of weeping as I was painting it.
I'll just quickly describe it for people who are listening who can't get to their phone or whatever. So it's basically rows and rows of workers at a Foxconn iPhone factory in China. So can you give me a bit of a background to that work?
Like I'm curious about like the whole idea around the mobile phone, and like how it's just been completely like absorbed by society, and the far-reaching impacts that it's had. Like we're in the midst of a technological revolution, these pivotal moments in time, and just how it's so quietly or unquestioningly been assumed by everyone.
This sort of series of works at the back, which we did talk about as well at the Art Gallery, and they're fabulous works where you've taken a really important document, like say the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and then just sort of scrawled over the top one of those internet slang things. It says so much with so little. Can you tell me a little bit about that series?
I sent a text message to my daughter about something, and she texts back TLDR, and I was like, what's that? And she said, too long, didn't read. And I was like, oh, like it was just this moment of like attention span and language and everything has diminished so much to the point that it's not you can't even write too long, didn't read. Even too long, didn't read has been reduced to an acronym. And then I was thinking like all these like global documents that pertain to like the most important aspects of human rights. You have like the Constitution of Australia, you have like the Magna Carta and, like the Declaration of Independence and things like that. And then you have like this whole generation that's emerging with a shortened attention span and this reduction of language, especially like if you like information that's sort of delivered in like a few lines or a paragraph can be tweaked and turned and manipulated, and you can bend the course of history. You can bend what is acceptable and unacceptable. What I realised after living like a pessimist my entire life, I actually might be an optimist. Like, it's just my own observations, and I might be some cuckoo who, shouldn't have been given a mic today. I just feel like it's such a spark of energy sort of time that and things are changing so quickly. I want to try and document that as best I can in my own way, like the same way that someone would sit and paint a landscape or paint a still life, like that. Their fascination, I don't know. The fascination of my subject matter sort of thing. So, yeah.